Good morning, YouTube. Mark here. I am heading out to do a little bit of a hike. I know, right? It's been a while. I've actually noticed that when I've been out shopping with my friends or out with my wife or something like that, maybe like the next day or so, I'm actually really sore and stiff and stuff, and it's just from the walking around. So yeah, I think I need to get out on the trails and get some endurance built up, because in May, my friend Dave Ward and I are going to go and do a 2-day hike. It's part of a group called the Badger Trails, and they have a hike called the Glacial, I think it's just called the Glacial Hike Trail or something like that, or a trail hike or something. But that's going to be like a 15-mile hike. I mean, it's nothing super strenuous. I definitely need to get myself, get my endurance built up and get myself, a little more fit in order to do this type of a hike. And I'm not going to jump out and do a 10-mile hike right away. I'm going to build it up. Right around the outskirts of town here, there's a small little, I think it's a 1.5 mile trail called the Floodplain Trail. And I used to walk this a lot. I basically was working 2 or 3 jobs technically. I was working at Frito-Lay, and then I was also working for a local school district as a janitor, and then I was also doing some drywalling for my folks. Lo and behold, with my bad back, I ended up screwing myself up big time. I mean, it was really quite bad. I ended up quitting Frito-Lay because of it. Finished off the drywall work with for my parents, but it took a little bit longer than I originally was hoping. But yeah, I would just basically, in my healing process, I would go out to this floodplain trail out here and walk it. That was kind of my rehab. And it actually worked fairly well. So that's kind of what I'm doing to build up my stamina and my endurance. Is I'm going to go out here, I'm going to hike this trail until I feel, decently comfortable with it. And then I'll start doing something, a little longer, a little more strenuous, and just really build up that endurance. So I'll see you at the trailhead. Okay, we're here at the trail. So as you can see, it's all, whoa. As you can see, it's all covered with snow and ice here. So it's going to take a little while. I'm in no rush to do this. I'm not pushing myself to do, so many miles, and I've only got a few hours to do it or anything like that. I'm just going to take my time, kind of enjoy the sights and sounds. I've actually missed this quite a bit. So let's get into it. So right over here, that bridge, that's where Vic and I were hanging out doing our magnet fishing. The creek is right over here. You might be able to see a bunch of ice there too. That's why I haven't been out to do it since. This is a very used trail. People come out here in the wintertime, they cross country ski. They still come out here and hike, walk their dogs. So yeah, it's very, very well established. Sorry, I just keep on looking over here, seeing all the ice on the top of the creek. You won't be able to see much because there's a lot of growth here yet. But yeah, right there is the is the creek. Now sometimes it gets so thick that people actually will drive their snowmobiles and ATVs out on top of the creek water, you know, on top of the ice. Wow, check out these big, huge pieces of ice that have broken up and been pushed up on shore. Wow. Sorry about all the cracking. Even the trail had gotten flooded out here, and you can see how all the ice is here. I mean, those ice pieces are just huge. That one over there has got to be close to about, gosh, probably anywhere between 15 and 20 inches thick. All right, coming up to my first intersection here. Now, if I was to go right, it would take me right back to my truck. But I'm going to keep on going. Now, this trail years ago was called the Turtle Creek Floodplain Trail. And now it's kind of been renamed slightly to the Turtle Creek Greenway Trail. I don't know why. This is actually a prime spot for kids to gather, at least back when I was a kid. This is a prime spot to gather up and go swimming. There's actually a fairly deep well right in here. And there was a tree right in this big, huge cutout. There you see, there was a tree there, and it had a rope swing attached to it. Tree's gone now. That's actually a really big change to not have that tree here. Wow. When I was walking around the bend in the river up there, I stopped and got a nice little video and a picture. There was a fence put up there, and that was actually put up there a number of years ago because the erosion around that curve in the bank, the erosion was so bad that they wanted to keep people away from it because the trail was actually walking right up to the edge. So they kind of pushed the trail back probably about a good 15 feet or so and put that fence up so people don't get too close, because the erosion actually creates like a false edge, and that the ground actually kind of curves up towards the top. So you could be standing on the edge and only be standing on maybe, 6 inches of dirt. And then all of a sudden it's going to be about an 8-foot fall down into the creek. God, I've missed this. Well, that's ice. That's such a weird sound. The thing is you don't know what's underneath it when it finally breaks loose. So you don't know if you're gonna put your foot into a bunch of water or what. Wow, you can actually see the creek flowing over there. Glad I'm doing this. Glad I'm doing this. Okay, so right here you see these two groove tracks. Those are actually cross-country ski tracks. If you're not from an area that has a winter like we have, the rule is that you don't walk on the cross-country ski trails. You stay off to the side. You know, they want to leave those tracks nice and pristine for the skiers. Of course, not everybody follows that. You know, it's just kind of a courtesy thing, more or less. One of the main reasons why we have so much ice is that our winter was really crazy this year. The Farmer's Almanac stated that it was going to be a mild winter. Mild temperatures and light snow. We got hit with a polar vortex, and the temperatures in Wisconsin were anywhere from -55 to -60, I think even lower than that in a couple of places. Madison was actually dubbed the 6th coldest place in the world that day. But shortly after that polar vortex, it warmed up to maybe around 40 degrees, and a lot of the snow that we had started to melt. But then we also got hit with just a random rain, and I mean, it rained a lot, but it also froze almost immediately. So yeah, the roads around here were like total crap, just full of ice and stuff. Schools closed down. Whole towns, you know, like the cities and stuff like that, were telling employees, you know, don't go into work. So our cities were shut down. So we were like, didn't get any mail for a couple of days. It was pretty gnarly. Ooh, I remember this spot. Back when I would walk this trail quite often, I came to this location here, and just up there where there's like 3 growth trees that come up at the same time. There's one big round one and a couple of smaller ones. Right up by that tree, I was just walking along, and I was looking down at my feet. It was kind of muddy, so I was, you know, just making sure I was getting, you know, taking good steps. I happened to look up. There was a big buck deer standing right here. Big old white-tailed deer. He didn't run. He just stood there. And I just went walking right by him, you know, right here by the tree. And I said hi to him. And yeah, that was it. I mean, that was so cool. I've never been that close to a wild deer before. I mean, seriously, I mean, maybe 8 feet away. I mean, if that thing all of a sudden reared up and charged me, he could have stabbed me with his antlers easily, but at the same time, that was pretty damn cool. The Turtle Creek is way off into there, so we're a little ways away from the creek. There are houses over here, but it's all hidden by the trees. And this is city parkland here, so it's not like people come down here and mow or anything like that. You know, it's all kept up by the city. However, I do know houses up there, when they rake their leaves, they'll just bring the leaves down here and dump them in the woods. They're not supposed to, but they do. Well, here's another bend in the river, in the creek. And as you can see by the red fence here, there is erosion going on. Wow, that's gnarly. That big old tree is just holding on. That's cool. Wow, that's really neat. As you can probably see, we've come up closer to the houses, but the path, the big electrical system here, the path actually comes back just on the other side of that tower, and they come really close right over there. And so yeah, this part actually lollipops, goes all the way around, comes back just over there. So a lot of people, when they're hiking, they don't go all the way to the end. They'll actually just turn right back there and go back. But I want to do the whole thing. Holy crap. Here I am trouncing through all this ice layer. I just heard a big bird take off. It actually scared the hell out of me. All right, let's keep moving. Starting to see houses on the other side of the creek now. Okay, so I was telling you about our weather, how that polar vortex came down. But one thing I didn't tell you is that we've just had snow on top of snow, on top of snow, on top of rain, on top of snow, on top of snow. The Beloit, Janesville area has received, I think it was a little over 30 inches of snow this year. Madison, which is just like an hour up the interstate, they've received a little over 50 inches of snow this year. That's insane. Now, a couple of years ago, we actually got hit with a 100-inch snowfall winter. That was that was insane, to say the least. I don't remember having snow like that since back in the late 70s. We had a big snowstorm come through. You know, it shut down schools for a few days. All right. Alright, so I've come back out to the power line run. So way back there over that knoll is where we're really close to those houses and stuff. And the return trail was actually really close to the one that we're on now. But I think we're just about to the end of this run. And then we'll loop around and go back. Yeah, now you can definitely see the houses. My back is getting a little sore, and that's why I'm needing to get out here. I need to strengthen these core muscles so I can put a pack on and start hiking again, you know, and get some real mileage under me. You know, my wife and I are planning a trip to New Zealand later this year. We don't plan on doing a whole lot of hiking. There are a few areas in New Zealand where we will be hiking. And they're not big hikes or anything like that, but going up to like glaciers and stuff like that. So that ought to be pretty cool. Wow, I gotta get a shot of the ice on the other side here. Alright, so I just took a picture of that ledge right there. I don't know if it's gonna look good for a size comparison, but that little ledge right there, that's about 3 feet thick. Wow, that's pretty insane. Forces of nature at work, I love it. God, I've missed doing this. Okay, so here we are. This is the bend where we're going to start looping around. Now, I've actually made the mistake of actually taking this little side trail here. I've made a mistake of going that way, and it ends up in private land, so don't go that way. So we'll just stay on the big trail. I do not have my GPS on me to tell you exactly how far I've walked or anything like that. I don't know what the mileage is to that turnaround spot back there. So I really don't know what I've done. I really don't know how long I've been out. But yeah, now we're getting close to the houses again, as you can see. But as far as I know, nobody has any dogs that will run out and attack you or anything like that. You might hear some barking, but that's quite normal actually. Alright, let's keep moving. I'm sitting here watching little finches and blue jays flying around up in these little trees here. Okay, I've been getting caught up on the wire lines here. The trail that we were originally on was like literally right over here. I'm actually getting quite surprised by how many birds I've been seeing around. I mean, that's kind of cool, really. Of course, most of them were way back there. They were squeaking and talking and chirping away. As you can see, I'm still close to houses. Yeah, hearing dogs barking. I think I think I've probably heard maybe about 4 different dogs, 4 or 5. One actually sounds like he's outside. When he barks, it kind of startles me. I want to look and make sure he's not chasing up after me. Just walked up on about 5 or 6. I'm not sure exactly what they're called. I call them Mourning Doves. That's what my grandmother told me years ago that they were. But when they fly, it's really weird because they sound like a squeaky tire or something. You know, when they fly, they squeak, 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 squeak. But it's like every time they flap their wings, they chirp. Yeah, I've heard a few birds. Yeah, I caught those little finches or whatever they are, and maybe sparrows or whatever. The blue jays. And I caught the mourning doves. Every so often I can hear a crow back there just whack, whack, whack. Short of a couple of squirrels, I haven't really seen any wildlife. I haven't spotted any deer or anything, which I know they're around here. Just haven't seen any today. Good sized down tree here. In fact, I mean, there's broken stuff everywhere. Now, just a couple of weeks ago, we did have a windstorm come through here, and it was blowing, I think it was around like 40 miles an hour with gusts up to 50 to 60. So yeah, that was a pretty good windstorm. I wonder what these barriers are for. Well, that's weird. Just keeping people away from the fence line over there, I guess, maybe? Yes, that pale little dot up there, that's the sun. It's not the moon. So yeah, it's a very cloudy, overcast day. So my shooting might not be well lit and might kind of look drab. It's just because it's overcast. That's really the only reason. That, and it's still winter, so all the trees are just brown and gray. But spring will start here in a couple of weeks. In fact, I think the middle of next week they're calling for temperatures in the 40s. I like that idea. Alright, so right through over there, there you go. Right through over there is where I originally went. So basically right now I'm coming to the end of the lollipop. So we've gone all the way down, around, came back on this side, and reconnecting with the main trail. We are right by the bend in the river. Right over here was where that tree was with the rope swing. Was. It's kind of sad that that rope swing's gone. You know, I think the last time I remember being out here, I was curious on how much longer that tree was going to last. Well, I've got my answer. Not very. You know, I actually stopped back there and looked around where the rope swing tree was. I'm almost thinking that the city may have cut it down, probably for safety reasons. You know, can't have anything fun or even slightly dangerous in the world anymore. That's sad, isn't it? That's how people live and learn. Okay, there's a little bit of an intersection here. I came from over there. I'm going to return from using this path on this side. So I'm going to keep to my left. Now that first intersection where I could have just turned and went right back to the truck, it's actually right down this path, just past the red fence and down a little ways. So there's basically about 5 different loops you can take in this little trail section. So you can make a real short loop, take that very first intersection. You got this intersection that I just went through here. And then there's about 2 or 3 other places back down the trail where you can just kind of turn and come back. So it just kind of depends on what you want to do that day. The full trail that I did today, I think was somewhere around 1.1 miles or something like that. So it was a good start. I'm just about back to my truck. I believe they have a little kiosk here, so I'm going to look it up and see if they've actually got mileage on the kiosk. So I'll see you at the truck. Okay, I'm back in the truck. Nice little walk, nice little walk. Glad I came out here today, get myself back into it again, get myself moving again, and get myself hiking again. They do have a kiosk here, but I tell you that the plexiglass that covers everything, it's so full of like mouse crap and stuff. It's just ridiculous. You can't really read anything. So there may have been some mileage on there, but nothing I could tell. So I'm going to head back home. Got my friend Berto coming over. So I'm just going to say, this is Mark. I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the road.